And then Jimi Hendrix choked on his own vomit. He needed a doctor. Oh, hello. Thanks for joining me. I'm just here in the Guitar Colonel log cabin in the deep Victorian countryside with my faithful hound Panda, and I'm reading her some bedtime stories. Speaking of doctors, Dr. Ric came and joined us here at the log cabin many years ago. I'm not sure if he's a doctor. He certainly is a doctor of rock. Anyway, I thought we'd revisit Dr. Ric and have a look at what went on all those years ago. I think he was trying to give me a heart transplant at the time. We are live.
Good as gold.
Dr. Ric Wong, Doctor of Rock. How are you, sir?
I'm great, mate. It's great to be here.
Thanks for coming in this Saturday afternoon.
Like I need an excuse to come and see the Colonel.
Well, you managed to get through the line and the doorman let you in, and you know,
absolutely.
It's cool. How's your coffee?
It's beautiful, mate. Real good.
When you come in to see the Colonel, we spare no expense.
Absolutely.
And we get you whatever you like. Now, Dr. Ric, that is your stage name. And also, you're an actual doctor.
I am, I'm afraid to say.
So what came first, guitar or doctor?
Guitaring definitely came first.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was about 15 and I'd been playing for about a year, and I said to my parents, I think I know what I want to do with my life.
Yes, yes.
And Mum said, oh, you know, Dad's a bit sort of thingy about these sorts of things. Why don't you get a day job and then you can play guitar at night? And it was probably good, worked out pretty good advice for me. So
I think that's not a bad career option.
it was okay, actually.
Yeah. It's what I'd like my daughter to do, because she's got one of these doctor kits from Kmart, and now she's, you know, Daddy, you're the patient and I'm the doctor.
It's a good start.
Yeah. I'm always, you know, I've got a cough. So when did you start playing?
Oh, probably I was about 14. It was just early high school.
Same
yeah.
And good spot to start. So.
It was a mate of mine started playing, and I just thought that looks like good fun. And actually, funny story. His next door neighbour was a couple of years younger than us.
Yes.
And of course we were both playing guitar, and we said we need a bass player.
Yes.
So we pretty much cajoled him into buying a bass. He'd never played a musical instrument before. And he actually is touring Australia and the world as a bass player in a band fronted by probably my #1 favourite guitarist in history. So you wouldn't believe that, would you?
Who?
Synchronicity. Oh, it's this guy called Mossy. Have you heard of him?
Young Mossy.
Young Mossy.
A fair Strat player.
He's okay, you know. He's going to get good. Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's incredible. Cool. So from you know, we used to go and buy the Training Post and look up all the cheap basses, and we took him out and we bought a bass, and now he's touring the world, and that's his career. So
that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing. I love those stories. That's incredible. So. Is there a blues jam? Is there a blues jam in Australia that you have not appeared at? Just one will be fine.
Yeah, no, look, I reckon. No, I've played at quite a few of them actually, up and down. Look, whoever will have me. Basically, my wife's very happy to get rid of me for an evening. So, if we're on holiday somewhere and there's a jam going, then
the amount of people I get in. And they're like, do you know Dr. Ric? He's my first, guitar teacher. I bought a Strat from him, or I played in a blues jam with him. It's amazing.
It is.
If you are not from the fair shores of Melbourne here, do you get out to New South Wales, Queensland, WA, anything like that?
Yeah. Look, I've been around in Sydney and up in Queensland, and I've always wanted to play. There's a great blues scene up in Cairns.
Is there?
Yeah, you go to Cairns guitar stores, and the funny thing is, because of the humidity, all the strings are rusty, and
yes,
it plays.
I grew up in Queensland. So
well, you know about it.
I understand.
But there's a really good scene, and there's a band from Cairns, the Montgomery Brothers, and they've actually come down to Melbourne, and they're a great band. So I'm looking forward to catching them.
Cool, it's lovely up there in winter time. It's cold for them. 27 or something up there, is it?
Absolutely.
We have a few people on watching. Bob Tullett says hello. G'day, Bob. I don't know if you know any of these people, Dr. Ric. Stuart Cardwell.
Yeah, Stuart. Yeah, Stuart.
Mark
Stuart.
Teague. We'll like that. Mark Teague, I saw Ian Moss last night in Hobart. There we go. Great story. Ross Kavanagh is on. Richard Goldsmith is on. What do you have in your hands there, Dr. Ric?
I've got it's a 51 telly from the Fender Custom Shop.
Yes.
And look, we could start up a whole internet war about the pros and cons of relic guitars and the wankers who play them.
Well.
And I'm a card carrying
Fender man.
Absolutely. But look, I just pick them up, and if they feel good and they sound good, I play them. And I like what they do, obviously, with the back of the neck and how it's sort of all sort of sanded back. Because I find the new ones are a bit sticky for sweaty old man's hands. Absolutely. So I find that that works well. And
could you play anything you like on that? Could we hear that wonderful machine? Anything you want. I'll chime in at some point, but
yeah.
The candle just lit itself from the burning fires coming from Ric Wong's Telecaster. No.
Or something else.
So. That's amazing, man. That's beautiful playing. So, number one, that guitar sounds out of this world great.
Look, it does. It did speak to me when I played it, and I knew I was gone. And look, I've played Stratocasters for well over 20 years, and I only relatively recently got into tellies, and since then I haven't been able to play anything else. It's just, I don't know, just the simplicity of it. I love it when you play Strat and when so many other of my friends play Strats, but I just can't seem to find my voice. I think they're a bit too pretty, and there's lots of things about me, but I ain't pretty. So
I like. Well, that was some pretty playing there. That, I think the shape of the telly is very comfortable. And I think for people just starting out, if you want to grab a guitar that's foolproof, okay, you've got to play it, but you don't have a floating trem.
No.
The shape is great. They generally hold their tune pretty well, and Ric has bashed the living hell out of this, or maybe it was pre-done, but you can drop it and drag it behind a car, and it's going to generally keep playing and keep its tune. Yeah. Now, some of those chops are out of this world great. Where did you learn? Did you get lessons? You just picked that up?
Yeah, look.
What is going on?
I was really lucky. When I was a kid, my folks used to take us to pubs and see bands. It was on a Sunday afternoon, you could often see a band. So there was a pub called the Prospect Hill, which is long gone now. I think it's a Dan Murphy's, but it was just in High Street Q. And you could go there on a Sunday, have a counter meal, and then go and see a band. And I used to wonder why my folks did that, and I think they just loved music. My mother plays piano, and my dad loved all the sort of classic, the crooners, you know, Dean Martin and Sammy Davis, the Rat Pack. And so I was just immersed in music, so it sort of made sense. So I played piano for 5 years, and it was a bit sort of forced, I guess, and I didn't really enjoy it. But the leap from piano to guitar made perfect sense to me. I think once you can hear pitch and hear the differences in the notes, it all sort of happens. So, you know, I've just listened to a lot of stuff over the years. Obviously, Cole Chisel was my sort of start block, and then when I looked at what he was into, Mossy was into, I used to play Led Zeppelin covers, and so I sort of started listening to Led Zeppelin, and then it was kind of a backwards way into the blues, you know, because Jimmy Page would listen to all the great, you know, old blues guys, and basically just amp it up and play that sort of stuff. So, did you get to meet Ian Moss? Have you ever met him? No, I haven't. And I don't know. I think I'd be so toey because his music is a part of my DNA. And
it's got such a great Strat sound as well.
Amazing,
it's
just
really
incredible. Straight into a master, you think, ooh. I mean, obviously Hendrix made it work, but for me, you know, it's an amazing tone, and I've chased him forever, and I'll never catch him.
I had a chance to meet him at the Byron Bay Blues Festival.
Wow.
I was there backstage with my brother, who at the time was doing a video for an artist that was playing. So I got invited along, and he was literally standing, he's quite a big guy. Yeah. He was standing right beside me, and I just couldn't, I couldn't, excuse me, Mr. Moss. Colonel here, you know. Yeah. Unfortunately, but I'd love to get him in here at some point, but yeah, a bit nerve-wracking, that one. So,
well, maybe I should use the bass player guide and sort of see if we can make it happen.
Contact him on Instagram. Instagram is amazing. I'm going to see the Wiggles next Saturday, and a couple of the Wiggles have been injured. Anthony cut his nose open in overseas, and then Emma's been a bit sick. So I just thought, oh, you know what, I'll message him. Yeah. Hey Anthony, are you guys turning up next? Hey Colonel, how you going? We'll be there. You know, oh great, that's fantastic. So, man, that's amazing. So you've got obviously a day job, which is pretty cool, and you're doing gigs. You're dropping into blues jams. You've got your own band. You're on YouTube, which we'll talk about in a minute. But what are you doing gig wise?
Oh, so gig wise, probably the band that I'm most sort of excited about is this thing called the Basket of Deplorables, right? Which is basically it's a throw together band with a sort of revolving door of whoever's free on the night. Yes. And so we're playing that up at the Mount Dandenong Hotel, which is a great pub, really great supporter of live music.
I think Neil Boland's dropped in.
Yes, Neil. We've had Neil before, and he just he blew us away. His outside playing is just ridiculous, and
he's crazy.
He actually knows what he's doing, which is, you know, definitely.
I'm glad he does.
He does.
I don't.
No, he sort of knows those modes where I just sort of play wrong notes and whatever. But
He's got that sort of half step, whole step, diminished thing.
That's right.
You know, which is really cool.
When I play it, just sounds like a scale. When he plays it, it sounds like music.
He makes it musical. Dr. Ric, have yourself a slurp of your coffee while I respond to a few people who have dropped in. Ken Heron, thank you for joining, guys. Michael Webb, hi there. Mark Teague, Ian Moss was playing through Vox single speaker cabinets last night. Ooh, did you know that? That's interesting. Ken Herron, Michael Ray, we get a thumbs up. Mandaloo. Sorry, we've got so many comments coming through. But now, when you played rhythm, you were adding some nice comping chords in there. Can you show me what you were doing?
Yeah, sure. So,
because to me, I mean, I know that. Sorry.
Yeah.
And when you were playing, you were sort of chucking that in, and then you'd add something else. Show me some of your comping stuff.
So basically,
so you're dropping the fifth out of the chord there.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Because he's okay. I see.
And
so
then
that's almost
when I move up to the 4.
Right.
So.
What are you doing there? That sounds like a Paul McCartney thing.
Yeah. It's just a way of getting between the 1 and the 4.
So so in the bass you've got
C,
so
just the C.
And what's the?
So it's the 3rd, which is the E on the 9th fret.
Oh, I see. Right.
Yeah. And then I just move up. The bass goes up 2 steps, and the G just goes up 1 step. That's it. And then up again. And then up to the 4, which is sorry, F on the
F
and then A on the G string.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh. No.
That's it. Yep.
And then into the.
Yeah. But if you wanted to, you could go.
Wow,
and then.
That's nice.
So if you want to be a bit pretty and fancy.
Yep.
So.
That's nice.
And then, then I go into the F.
Where did you learn those comping changes?
I was lucky enough to be in a big band.
Right.
Sort of probably, I've been playing for about 2 or 3 years.
Yep.
And I joined this local big band which had, horns and all the great brass stuff.
Yep.
And they gave me the charts, and the charts were just mind-boggling as far as sharp 7, flat 5, whatever.
Right, but you can read some chord
a little
charts.
bit, but there was a guitarist in that band. So much of what I've learned is just being with other guitarists and seeing what they do, and so I'm working out all these chords, and they're all over the shop. And he taught me about the economy of you don't have to move too much. You know, the idea of just moving a couple of things and you can play it through. So that 1, 6, 2, 5. That sorry. So you can just sort of get around without, and that's probably moving much more than I had to.
Yeah.
But so that's how I kind of learned those. So I actually can't tell you what the chord names are.
Yeah.
I just know how they sound and how things sort of move almost in a contrary motion. So that's how I kind of learned them. And
that's cool.
I mean, I love playing rhythm. It's great, and I find the best rhythm for me might only have 2 or 3 notes in a chord. You don't have to be it's playing full stuff because someone else is going to be soloing. So one of the great sort of hallmarks of rhythm playing for me is just do enough to sort of imply what's required for the backing.
I think it's great for the guy playing the lead as well, because it allows him or her to put over the extra notes.
For sure.
Now, someone during the week said if Ric's coming in, do the stumble. Oh, Freddie, do you know the stumble?
Well, I love Freddie. Of all the kings.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the nastiest one, I think. BB, what a gentleman. Beautiful, melodic, and that vibrato that I won't even try because it's amazing. Albert, I mean, he's a nasty bit of work as well, but fantastic. And
nice pipe.
Yes, good pipe. And upside down.
That's what you need.
And whatnot. I actually played one of Albert's Flying V's when I was in San Francisco a few years ago. Right. I was in a guy called Gary Brower's guitar shop in a pretty seedy part of San Francisco.
Yep.
But Gary Brow's a tech to a lot of high-profile players. Satriani, Neil Shine,
right?
And he had one of Albert's Flying V's in there, and it was just amazing to actually be in the room with it. And
that's incredible.
It was amazing.
Worth a
I didn't ask.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it was for sale.
So I think he played like original 58s or something, didn't he? Or
yeah. Well, this one was made by Dan Erlewine.
Oh, okay.
Who knows a thing or two apparently about making a guitar.
Famous repairer.
Yes, absolutely. So, but yeah, Freddie. They said, lock up your women in your gin. Here comes Freddie King, and he was he just played so aggressively, and his only instruction to the recording engineer was turn everybody else down and turn me up, and I love that. So
he lived a fast life.
He did. He was all gone by 42.
Do you know the most of that? Should we run through the stumble a little bit?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, you kick it off. I'm not going to play any licks over that. I'll let you take that. But I'll
sure?
play the rhythm. Well, I'll see how I go. You ready?
Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
That is a tasty track. It's beautiful playing again.
Yeah,
so,
thanks.
So that time, that sounded a bit cleaner. Did you change your sound, or is it just my ears?
Oh, I just sort of ride the volume pot quite a lot. Right. This overdrive that I'm using is quite sort of responsive to changes in the volume and the attack and all that sort of thing. And
are you a Roy Buchanan-y, I'll put my finger on the vol and swell it out a bit, or?
I do sort of like to do that, but I mean, Roy was an absolute master of that and really made this something. What he used to want to make the guitar say help, that real sort of...
I think if you were near Roy's amp, you'd probably want to say help as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't he have, was he playing a twin just cranked?
Oh, I think it might be a slightly lower power one, but still loud as all get out.
I think he'd turn it to the...
all to 10, but hardly ever be full up open on the guitar. So just great, and some of the stuff that he did back in the day just stands up so beautifully. He's amazing, and
Yeah, when he was on song, it's fantastic.
Cool.
So, but you know, I mean, sadly, not enough people know about him.
No.
It's sort of, he's still a little bit undiscovered.
Yeah.
The amount of people that come in and be like, hey, you know, if you like tellies, check out Roy Buchanan. And they really don't know him. So.
It is sad and such a sad end to
his
life.
Yeah.
But there's so much great recorded and video stuff of him. It's we're very, very fortunate to have that much stuff. Yeah.
And when we say sad end, he went from Intelli to Valley Arts. That's what we're talking about. It's terribly disappointing. Grab yourself another slurp of coffee while I respond to a few. Neil Hawker is on.
Oh dear.
Yes, and Neil Bolan. Hang on, wait a minute.
Yes.
G'day, Rick. Come around to my place for a cup of tea.
Oh,
well, my goodness, that's very polite of him. He's not usually.
Well, as long as there's
sounding great.
No guitar playing involved, that'd be fine.
Greg Hammond says hello. Ken Heron. Rick has the best solo faces. He does. You should see them live. They're amazing. Sorry if I haven't responded to your comments. They're coming a bit fast and zapping along. Now, you are appearing on the YouTube a lot these days.
Yes.
What is going on there?
Okay,
let's do a little cross promotion.
My word. So
works better for me.
Absolutely. My good mate Shane Gioro has had a YouTube channel now for, oh gosh, you know, it must be nearly 10 years, I would think, called In the Blues. And being complete gear nerds, which is obviously the path that led us to here, as the colonel, the crown prince of gear nerds.
I salute you all.
Absolutely. And so we've been doing sort of gear demos for years, and we've just started actually doing some demos for a store called Sky Music down in Clayton.
Yes. Yes.
And they very
well
graciously let us go in there after hours and literally just about blow our brains out with playing way too loud and
that's a fair store and a fair chunk of gear to have licensed use to whatever you want.
It is. It really is like a kid in a candy store. It's frightening and daunting, and when we go in there we try and sort of work as efficiently as we can, but there's just every corner you turn there's something else that's beautiful and shiny and lovely. But the crazy thing that's happened this year is that because Shane has over 90,000 subscribers, he's come up on the radar of a company called Warwick Framers, who are a German manufacturer, and they have very graciously offered to fly Shane and I over to Germany.
What?
To a place called Markneukirchen,
wow.
Right on the Czech border, and we're going there for a week in October to play guitars and basses and try a few bits and bobs, do the factory tour and see the trees that are made into guitars. And
that's incredible.
It is incredible. It's amazing. The power of YouTube, and certainly you're a player in that game too now.
We try.
Your online presence is. It's remarkable. So
thank you. Thank you so much.
You know, it's on high rotate. If anyone comes to my computer at work and gets on the history, the Guitar Colonel's right up there. You know, somewhere down below is you know, some medical rubbish, but
no.
Yeah, certainly it's right up there.
If you like guitars and dad jokes, tune in.
Absolutely.
We do them all.
Yeah, my word.
That's amazing. That's really, well,
it is.
Congrats. So we've had a few Framouses in from time to time. You don't see them a lot. I know Jason Liakos, who plays with Neil Hawker a little bit, had a Framus at one stage.
Right,
so that was a lovely guitar, but that's amazing. So
look, it is great. Look, I have to admit, they've never really been on my radar as well. I'm a terrible snob as far as guitars go. And I only just got into a Paul Reed Smith, believe it or not, which I've always thought great for Santana and Nickelback and Ted Nugent, but I was wrong. I went to Sky, I played 20 of them.
Right.
Played them, I could just say straight, no, that's not mine. I can't hear my voice on that. But yeah, this little custom 22 sort of got me, and so I've been playing that quite a bit.
Wow.
But Ground Zero is always going to be this sort of guitar. But I'm happy to sort of have my sort of eyes open to different things, and we'll see how we go.
Yes, well, I've been trying to get Sir John Dallimore in for a show at some point, and in fact I just spoke to him on the phone, and Do you think no way means no? Or
No, look, I think just ask him.
I'm not.
Is there a chance?
One
in a million, and you'll go, yep, and you'll go, great.
I'll take that chance.
Yep, absolutely.
But he's a PRS guy. He has switched to complete PRS.
Wow, because Neil obviously got his Les Paul.
Yeah.
Look, I remember going to see John again, probably sneaking in underage, and with John English. And just thinking, wow.
Yeah, he's
still amazing.
He's a monster. He's a monster. He's got a bit of a cold. Actually, he should have come in this afternoon. You could have exchanged some guitar stuff and then fixed him on the spot.
Sorted him out. So can I put that on my CV that I actually cut John Dellymore's lunch? I would love to do that.
You certainly did, sir.
Yeah.
Now, Neil Hawker has some comments. Also, is that an old Christmas tree behind Ric? It is. Ray Beatty on a PRS is a glorious thing.
Absolutely, it is.
Stuart Cardwell, woo, Sky Music, Greg Hammond. Hey Colonel from Greg Hammond, sounding great as usual. Thank you so much. Yes, that is a Christmas tree behind Ric. I've been, you know what, last night I had a look at some videos online. I had a look at the pedal show. And Reverb, and I saw Tommy Emmanuel doing a demo on Reverb, and there was a tree in the background. And I thought, you know what? I've got an old Christmas tree. That's how we do it here. Well, look, I'm going to say thank you so much for coming in.
Absolute pleasure.
Congrats on everything to do with the online stuff. And Shane came in here a couple of weeks ago, and he's done a video of the shop. So very happy with that. It'll be coming out on his channel at some point, and we're going to get him in for a chat at some point too.
Yeah, you probably better get some lefties in.
Yes, sadly.
Yes.
Hey, the dreaded lefty. So maybe, I don't know what time it is, maybe we can take us out again. Just with that Freddie King, the first one we did, Big Legged Woman, and get you to play some chops over that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not going to play the riff. I'll just play the funky thing.
Sweet, no worries.
You ready? 3 and 4 and... Crazy great. Where can we come and see you?
Well, I play this acoustic gig every 2 weeks at a little pub in Eaglemont called the Eaglemont Cellars.
Yes.
And so that's on tomorrow, Sunday from 4 till 7. We play sort of classic old, Beatles and even some things like Bee Gees and Rolling Stones. And
playing a major seventh then?
Plenty of major seventh, absolutely, lots of major seventh.
It's the girl I knew you very well called. Girl I knew you very well.
Oh,
there you go. Thank you.
That is beautiful, man.
Thank you. Oh, well.
You got some pipes there.
High pipes, ladies and gentlemen.
But look, probably the next loud and obnoxious gig would be the Basket of Deplorables, which is I think July the 7th, Saturday, July the 7th, up at Mount Dandenong, and we're just sort of working on who might be turning up there. But it's it's just ridiculous fun. And girls out there, if you want to get rid of your husbands for a night, then that's the place to go.
Send them away. Are you still dropping in at the Melbourne Blues?
Oh, look, you know, I haven't been there since it moved across to the west because, incredibly mundane, Tuesday night's my late night at the clinic, so I often sort of don't get out of there till about 8, and then getting across there is, you know, a bit too taxing for an old man like me.
Fair enough. It is crazy getting across the other side of town. I think it's easier to fly over to Hong Kong or something than go north, south, east, west. Final tips for young people or beginners watching who want to come along to a blues jam.
Yeah.
What would you say to turn up with? Because obviously not everyone's playing at that level.
No.
And they're probably a little bit seeing that. They're like, good Lord, how can I turn up?
Yeah, look, I mean, given that guitarists probably 85% of the time play rhythm, it's just great to have some rhythm chops, and it's just, you know, blues is what I love about it is its simplicity. You know, simple doesn't mean easy. It just means just almost like less is more. Yeah. So if you can just cover a you know, just a rhythm thing, or and then we'll do that. Yeah, so just if you can cover the rhythm, that's the main thing. I always think we always want to sort of walk before we can crawl, and it's just, I think, really important to have that sort of solid rhythm behind you, because I guess so much of, you know, playing guitar is just being in that pocket. And the thing that I love is I just happened to heard a Jimmy Vaughan song on the way in.
Oh right. Yeah.
And I was just, because it's hard when you're a muso to listen to music and not imagine playing it. And it's just so simple, but everything just works perfectly. It sits in the pocket, and it was great. So I
love that first Thunderbirds record. Oh, it's amazing.
So good. It's
beautifully recorded.
It's like going home, isn't it? It's just great. So, and that feeds the soul up. You know, I wanted to say today that, you know, playing music for me, because I don't do it for a job, is a pure release, which is why you get those most horrific faces when I play it. And folks, no one tries to look like that. I just want to say that now. It's just, it's coming from a place sort of deep inside, and probably some terrible trauma that I had, whatever, in my life. But it's an outworking of that. And the thing I love about Mossy is that he'll start a gig and he'll be looking beautiful, and by the end of the first song, he's drenched in sweat. And that's not from exertion, that's just from passion and all those, you know, all the great things. And, you know, I think we probably both played for the enjoyment of it. We live for that moment. It might be just one moment in the whole night, but it's magic, and no one can touch you. And there's no, I tell you kids, there's no drug that can do that. And you know, don't touch drugs. But things like this is all you need.
And for $9.95, you can get the Ric Wong facial mask, which will be sold on the Blues channel. No, I'm not sure.
It will keep all the nasty people away if you hang that on your front door. That's for sure.
That's awesome, man. Well, look, thank you so much. No Customary worries. Handshake for you, sir.
Pleasure to be here.
You can see Dr. Ric rocking everywhere in Melbourne, and on YouTube, the new Sky Music channel, and also In the Blues, you're popping up there as well. And I just want to say thank you so much. Are you teaching?
You know what?
Not really.
Because I haven't been taught. I've just sort of learned stuff. I'm very happy to sort of tell people a few things, but probably it's like when I taught my kids to drive. They really have learned some terrible bad habits from me. You know, I don't know how to hold a pick properly or move around, so I probably wouldn't sort of teach formally, but I'm very happy to share, because that's how I've learned over the years. Just you know, going to gigs before YouTube, we go to gigs. You know, I remember going to see the Angels and thinking, oh, that's how he does that. And I think going to gigs and seeing lots of great players, and yeah, that's definitely a great way to learn.
I have a cool Angels story for you before we go.
Oh, excellent.
So Jimmy Hocking was
Yeah.
in the Angels at one point, and I was teaching a guy the whatever it is, the
no secrets. Yeah.
whatever it is, and the second part around, which is
Oh yeah, what's that?
or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I couldn't figure it out, and in walks Jimmy Hocking. I said, "Oh, excuse me, Jimmy, can you show me that part?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, man, it's a," you know. And then he walked away, and the guy's like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "Oh, he's from the Angels."
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was kind of nice.
It's very look. You
So
get
it's in
some,
the legendary book there.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you know.
I get some great guys coming through, don't you? You know, touring
sometimes,
guys.
yeah. Well, I think it's a lot of it's proximity to the city for us too, because some of them stay at Crown and up they come and whatever. But local for me is the best. So if you're local, come on down and see us. So,
for sure.
thank you so much.
Pleasure,
again,
mate. Real pleasure.
Guys, if you've got any questions for Ric, you can find him on Facebook and online, and send him some stuff. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks, buddy.
Great, mate. Good as well.
Ciao for now.